sun is shining and I've finished all the work that I need to do for this week, so it's time for an adventure. If you've been watching my last few videos, you'll know that I've had a little bit of a tough time this last while with the rain and the leaks in my vehicle and just a few other problems like that. So these last few days, while there was sun, I was able to figure out what I need to do for all that. I got some repairs done on the van and oil change and all that kind of stuff. So I'm feeling really good. I've accomplished almost everything that I need to for this week. So today and tomorrow are the last days of sun, so I thought I'd get in a little bit of me time and go on a hike somewhere. I don't know where I'm going yet, but it's gonna be good. Let's put some tunes on.
I sit her in a smoky room. Life is a highway.
I've been everywhere, man.
There ain't no mountain.
20 minutes later.
All right, we are here. Time for a hike. Hammock. This feels really nice to be back out in nature. It's just quiet. It's kind of like a cool, mystical forest. Last year when I lived in Vancouver, like when I was renting here, this was a trail that I would go on probably almost every week, and I'd set up my hammock here, and it was like 15 minutes away from the place that I was renting, so I would come here a lot. So it's kind of nice to be back here, and I want to share a little story that happened a couple of weeks ago, which is not a negative story, but a very positive and cool and adventurous story that I have some footage from, and I kind of want to show. So I gotta find this spot. Oh, this is such a cool spot. I just gotta find a couple trees to string the hammock up between, which there are plenty of trees here, so I'm just gonna pick two. I am pretty happy with this hammock spot. Got a waterfall right there, got a stream running underneath me. This is gonna be good. Pretty good. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna have a good little nap over here. I honestly love being on the coast. This is just like, it's so wild out here. You got the mountains, you got the ocean, you got like little valleys like this, which are just gorgeous. And there's like no one around here. I passed one person today so far. And oh, it's just so nice. But especially the ocean. Like, my biggest hobby is scuba diving, and I want to do way more of it, but it's just really expensive and I can't always afford to do it. But I did treat myself last month when I was doing van life on Vancouver Island. There was a shipwreck there called the HMCS Saskatchewan, and it was sunk, and it lies about 120 feet below the surface. So it's cold water here and pretty dark, but ever since I started scuba diving, I had heard about this shipwreck down there, and I was like, I always want to go down there, but there are no like dive groups that go down. Like, you can't just go on a dive there. You have to like charter your own boat, and then I wasn't comfortable doing it without a guide because I didn't know the boat, and it was a big boat. There was like 210 people that worked on the crew while I was in service, and it was a battleship, and so it's sunk. So it's a really big ship, so if I'm going inside of it, I don't want to get lost. But anyways, the day finally came to do the dive, and we got on the boat, we met our captain, we met our guide. Our guide was super awesome. Like, he showed us all the little things that we could see. So we put on our dry suits and we went down, and for some reason I love shipwrecks. Shipwrecks are just the coolest thing in the world to me, and this ended up being like my favorite dive. I haven't done a lot of dives, but I've done about 30 dives, but this one was for sure the coolest, because getting to go in a ship that big, like especially like a military ship, and the cannons were still on it. We could go into like some of the rooms, like there was like this hatch on one of the decks, and we were only allowed to go one person at a time inside the ship, because if someone were to follow me into the ship, my fins would be kicking up all the silt that has just been sitting on the floor there for a long time, and it would blind the person behind me. So kind of to add to the little bit of a scariness of this experience, you're the only one in the ship. And our guide, before we went down, he said, just kind of go through the hallways, don't go like upstairs or like down into like, don't get caught essentially. Like there's still things hanging, there's like signs on the walls, so you don't want to get caught in the ship. And I was already a little bit nervous, like I didn't want to run out of air and be lost inside of this big ship. So I just decided to go into this one little main area and down the hallway a little bit to what used to be the engine room. But there was still like, there was the crew quarters. We could see like the rooms there, and there was so much life on the outside of the ship too. And it was just a really cool but very creepy experience being in, it's like dead quiet down there. Like other than hearing your bubbles, just you hear nothing other than that. And it's like if you were to turn off your light in some of the places in that ship, pitch black. And then we went to the outside of the ship and just kind of like did a little circle around it, and as we were going up we just kind of circled around like the tower and seeing the cannons and stuff. That was just such a cool experience, and I want to do way more shipwreck dives. I want to get like more certifications to do like deeper ones and just really go into the wrecks a lot more. Scuba diving, so cool. Oh, and I almost completely forgot. One of the really cool things about that dive was we found a Great Pacific Octopus. I think that's what it's called. So there was just this octopus. Well, we first saw a baby octopus, and we got close to it, and it was curious. It was kind of checking us out a little bit, and then I guess I got nervous, and it inked us. And that was just pretty cool to see in general. But like not even a minute later, we found a big octopus hidden in some rocks, and our guide had this really powerful flashlight, and it gave off a lot of heat. And so we were shining the light at this bigger octopus, and the octopus could, I guess, feel the heat from it, and it reached out one of its tentacles and grabbed onto the light and started like trying to pull it back into this little cave that it was in. And so like I could hear the guide going like under, because we can't talk underwater. And when we got up to the top, the guide said that he felt like he would almost lose that light with how strong that octopus was pulling the light. So that was kind of cool, just seeing that little tug-of-war between like a Great Pacific Octopus and our guide, like right in front of me. The wildlife is just so fascinating. That was just so cool. I cannot wait to get back in the water and do more scuba diving. I am so excited. And California happening like next month, a month and a half. There's the kelp forests there right off the ocean, and apparently that is just gorgeous diving. So I gotta find some friends in California that want to go diving, because I don't like diving by myself usually. So, and especially in a kelp forest where you need knives to get through some of the kelp sometimes if you get stuck. I don't want to do that alone. So I gotta find a little community in California. Life is good. I'm in a good spot right now. As you know, if you've seen my last few videos, there have been some challenges, especially with the leaks and the whole police situation. These last couple of weeks have tested me. And for like all the people who watched and commented on my last videos, thank you so much for all your comments. There was like 200 people who gave different ideas of how I could fix the leak in my roof, and I was just overwhelmed with how much support there was there. So thank you so much for commenting. I actually read all of the comments, and the ones that I thought were really cool and I want to research more, I did. And over these last couple days I've been trying some of those things, and the leak is better. It's not completely waterproof, but it's way better than it was. There's not like 8 liters of water coming in. It's much better than that. So the sun is back for now. I have one more day tomorrow of sun, so I'm just gonna enjoy that too, and then back into the rain. But really, I'm only here for another week and a half, and then I head home for the holidays, and then I fly back here after, and then down to California, where there's going to be sun and a little bit of smoke by the sounds of it. Lots of wildfires there, which is a little bit scary, but I'm I'm ready to get on the next really big road trip here. The next journey, I feel like I've had my BC time for the last about half year. I'm ready for another big adventure here. So I'm gonna get some scuba diving down in there and lots of hikes, and who knows what's gonna happen. But it'll be good, and there'll be a lot of learning lessons, I'm sure. But anyways, thank you very much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, give it a like and consider subscribing to the channel for more van life adventures here. And apparently scuba diving adventures today. But yes, thank you so much for watching. Happy trails, and until next time.